This isn't cooking, this is physics. Today I'm going to show you why I finally upgraded to a chamber vacuum sealer. Matter of fact, the model I have here is the Avid Armor USV20. So as a gardener, you're going to probably have a lot of crops that you're going to harvest and potentially freeze. Or you're even making things in the kitchen like soups and whatnot that you're going to potentially freeze with your harvest. This little device here I think is going to save us money. It's going to help us get all our meals saved and prepped that we need to, and also going to save our harvest from our garden in a quick and efficient manner. The problem with the standard suction vacuum sealer is that after I blanch my vegetables, they typically have water on them yet. No matter how much you try to use them in a salad spinner or whatnot, that water's still going to be on them, and that water type tends to suck in into the chamber of those standard sealers, and it ruins the seal. It won't, basically the sealer will not burn the plastic enough to seal it up. The bags there are also pretty expensive with those suction sealers. So I did a little research this winter, and this is where I came up with this vacuum sealer. Now the guy I got was not a top of the line, top of the shelf model. You are going to spend a little bit more money on the initial unit on this, but over the long run, I think you will save some money. The Avid Armor USV20 is the model I got. I'm not affiliated with them. I do have a link down below to it in the Amazon shop, so if you feel like you need to click on that link to go buy one, by all means do it. It's an affiliate link. I will get a little slice of the pie, if you will, but it's not going to be any added cost to you. So feel free to go down below. It helps me out. Click that link if you're going to think about purchasing one, or if you do purchase one. It will greatly help me out, and I will definitely appreciate it. So this guy is definitely a workhorse. It is heavy duty. The thing is compact, but yet it is pretty good size. And it's pretty good weight as well. So the thing is pretty heavy duty. I've been able to successfully do various meats like ground beef. I've been able to do chicken. I've been able to do marinated chicken, marinated pork chops, marinated pork loin, even seasoned them all. And I haven't had any issues with that seasoning or that marinade going anywhere. I've even done soups. Instead of taking the soups and putting them in a container and risking that freezer burn on top of the soup, I've been able to put them into a bag and then have that bag sealed, and then voila, I am ready to go. Matter of fact, those bags laid nice and flat into the freezer, so I don't have a bunch of odd containers taking up the freezer and taking up a bunch of dead space in there. I can just kind of slide those in there, stack them up as I need them. So this has been a very good working piece of equipment for me. So like I said, this thing is multifunctional. You can do dry foods in it. You could do wet foods in it. You could do water if you wanted to, freeze up your own water, put them into ice bags, do different things like that if you wanted to. You can do soups. You can even take a jar of dry beans, and there's an attachment for it, and seal up the beans if you wanted to. Heck, if you have a dish that is shallow enough, you could put it into that chamber, and you can make your own pickle brine just instantly by cutting up a couple cucumbers, putting your brine in there, and then turn the sealer on, and that suction will get into those pickles, and it will absorb, and that brine will absorb into those pickles, and it'll just stay there. You'll have a pretty good pickle, pretty crunchy pickle as well, because this hasn't been processed or sitting in a jar full of brine for 3, 4, 5, however many days you guys have for those pickles. So earlier I may mention that this will save me some money. I had just bought a bunch of bags for my food savers. These bags here, I don't know if you can tell or not, but they are the Food Saver brand. They got the little texture lining on them. This is a roll. I think this is going to cost me about $0.10 a bag, if not more. That goes with the old suction style type Food Saver. And then I also just went out to get some different bags. These are going to be 6 cents a bag, pretty much 6 cents a bag, 6.2 cents, 25 cents a bag. I bought 1,000 of these for $62.50. Free shipping. Shout out to Vacuum Sealers Unlimited. I'm not sponsored by them, but this is where I got these bags from. These are fantastic bags. You notice that they don't have the texture on them as well. But this is what you need for your vacuum sealer. These are basically a 3 mil bag. They do very, very well. They hold up very, very well. The vacuum just seals perfectly in these things. Now you might say 4 cents a bag between this and this. Trust me, it's gonna make a difference. One, I have to make my own bags with these. That takes an extra step, extra time. And two, between the two of these, over a year's worth of time, I will definitely save some money. I'll definitely save some dough. If I'm gonna have a garden that I'm gonna be harvesting and freezing and putting in these guys, I'm gonna save some money. If I'm gonna bring home bulk food like meats, like chicken and beef and pork, and I wanna put in these guys, I'm definitely gonna save some money. Yes, it's cents, but it will add up over time. And I also feel like this device that I got here, it's gonna last me quite a while. It is heavy duty. It doesn't look like I'm gonna have many parts that are gonna go bad on it. It looks like it's gonna be pretty easy to maintain, and it's fairly simple to operate. Even Kid Croc, he's able to press the button and get things to seal properly every time. So this thing also can take a mason jar, and we can put an attachment on it and seal it. So let's say we go out and pick out a bunch of dry beans from the garden, and we want to seal those. Or let's say we have our chamomile that we picked for the year, and we have it in a spice jar. We want to seal those. Or let's say we also open up a seed packet that we want to put into a jar, and we want to make sure that it's airtight so that there's no moisture or anything getting in there. We can do that. We have an attachment that we can put on top. Matter of fact, you can even do it if you have dry goods. You can even put it into the middle of into the vacuum chamber. And when you put it in the vacuum chamber, it'll pop that lid right on there. It is a pretty cool little machine. If you use the attachment, you can do liquids in the jar as well. If you wanted to can up a bunch of water or save a bunch of water for temporary use, now you're not going to be able to use this as a long shelf life because you aren't basically getting all the bacteria and sterilizing the jar as you would when you're canning. But you can use this as a way to reseal a jar if you need to reseal a jar quickly that you're going to use short term. Or if you want to reseal a lid onto a jar, put it in the fridge and save something for later. You can leave me a comment down below. Tell me, how many of you guys use this combo here where you got the food saver and the vacuum sealer? How many people have issues with it? I've had this thing probably for maybe 5-6 years. Yes, I've had issues with it, but most of my issues aren't with the physical machine itself. It's the limitations of the machine. So I have successfully eliminated those limitations by purchasing this vacuum sealer. Will I solely use the vacuum sealer and not use this anymore? I doubt it. I probably will still use this from time to time. I'm sure, because I got bags that I spent a lot of money on that I want to be using up. So we will definitely still be using that. But likewise, we'll still be using that vacuum sealer as well to get things nice, neat, and tidy. So if you guys like these reviews like this, please think about subscribing to the channel. Leave me a comment down below. Nothing makes me happier than if you go down, leave me a comment, even if it is just to say hi or put a thumbs up emoji, a little heart emoji. I love that as well. Cheers, everybody. God bless.